boys and girls, students of Buddhist Sunday school and Dharma classes, parents and grandparents, teachers of Buddhist Sunday school, all those who are following this presentation. May you all be well, happy, and peaceful. We are going to have a presentation of two moral stories for children and the young people. But there are some adults who are also very keen to know these stories so that they can teach the younger ones. Now, the text of the presentation are all in English and Malay, but the narration with explanation is in English. Now, we are going over the presentation slides where you have two stories with very good moral lessons for us to learn. Now, as usual, we will launch the PowerPoint. All right, the slideshow, we start from the beginning. Now you see the first slide, and is the title of the presentation. As you can see, two moral stories for the young, dua kisah moral untuk anak muda. Now, of course, the images have something to do with the two stories. You can see two boys, two good friends. You can see the central figure in the second story, which is a turtle, right? So now let us go on to the first story. That is slide number 2. Now, this second story is titled Having a Best Friend. And it is a very meaningful story where we can learn very important life lessons in order for us to live peacefully and happily. So the story is simple, but you can learn very good Dharma also. Now let us go on to slide number 3, which starts the story. It says that this story tells us this. There were once two friends by the name of Jack and Sam who were walking through the desert. Now you can see the picture here. These two friends, maybe teenagers, young teenagers also, or maybe standard 6 or form 1 or whatever lah. But they are quite smart and they are good friends. Now you know what the desert is. The desert is quite an isolated area where you have very few people going, and probably they are going to a certain place, as you can see afterwards, and they were talking, conversing happily as they walk along the desert. But then during some point of the journey, they had an argument. This happens very, very often, or very common thing among friends, among members of the family who would argue, disagree, different viewpoints. And Jack, one of the two boys, lost his temper. He slapped Sam on the face, right? He slapped Sam, the other boy, his friend, on the face. Wow, what will happen? What do you think will happen? Would this person who got slapped, Sam, slap him back or fight with him? So let us see what happens. Now, these are just animated images to illustrate the presentation. Now, let us go on to slide number 4. Of course, Sam was very hurt. Probably he cried also because his best friend slapped him, but he did not say anything. He did not say anything. You know what he did? He took maybe a piece of wood and then just wrote on the sand. In the desert, You have lots covered with sand, actually, all over sand. Much more than a beach, you know. You go to the seaside, you have the beach of sand. But in the desert, you have miles and miles of sand. And you know the animal, camel, found in the desert very often. You know what did he write? What did Sam write? He said, he wrote that today, right? Today, my best friend slapped me on the face. I think there's something wrong with the font, the spelling. It's not so clear. But anyway, he reads, today, my best friend slapped me on the face. He just wrote on the sand there. But he did not say anything. He remained silent. You see, that is a wise thing. Because if you argue back, then you quarrel, right? When another person is angry and then you try to say certain things, the fellow would not be in the mood to listen, right? You will be even more angry and you will argue and so on. You see, in this case, he was so quickly angry that he slapped his friend already. But his friend did not retaliate, did not slap him back or argue. He just remained quietly and then went to a spot and wrote on the sand with maybe a branch, a wooden stick or whatever I could find. Today, my best friend slapped me on the face. That was what he wrote, you see. So now you will learn later on very important lessons. Now this actually shows you an area of the desert. Sometimes there will be wind blowing and daytime is very, very hot. At night it can be very, very cold, right? So there are some, who live wandering in the desert, the Sahara desert. You have those nomads, they move from place to place. Quite a difficult condition. Imagine hot, and then you must have enough water, otherwise you can die of thirst, right? So, animals are special. Animals like the camels are special. They store a lot of water in their bodies. This cartoon shows this person so terrible. Slept so many times, but actually in the story he slept only once. Right? He doesn't slept so many times, but just an animated image. Now let us go on to number 5 now. So after that, they kept on walking. Of course, Jack saw what Sam wrote on the sand. All right? Today, my best friend slapped me on the face or something like that, you see. So after that, they kept on walking in the desert. And they found an oasis. Now, you see, in the desert area, there are certain spots where you have a pool of water, some palm trees growing, or some plants, certain areas. And these areas are called oasis. Oasis. But sometimes, when you are under the hot sun in the desert, you have what we call a mirage, Your eyes play trick on you and you see at the distance, oh, there is water, there are palm trees. And then you go towards the place and you find it's an illusion. It's a mirage, which means it's not real, but your eyes and of course your mind comes in, creates that thing, the image. But this one is a real oasis. Wow, they were very happy because so hot, so they decided to take a bath, Of course, you have the pool of water there. So they decided, and then, there are some muddy areas there also, So at this place, what happened was, this Sam, the boy who got slapped, went and got stuck in the mud, you see, you can see that area. And then here I just put the animated image to show a cartoon figure being stuck in the mud. Very hard to come out, And imagine if they are very young people, not like adults, maybe they have more strength, they can come out, you see. So what can happen? If nobody were to save him and he were to be there for a long time, he could die also. So very dangerous. So this boy who got slapped by his friend now got into difficulties, got stuck in the mud in the oasis area. In the oasis, you will have muddy pools, you have clear streams or pools of water, clear pools. But this fella, I don't know how, he maybe wandered around and he stepped into a muddy pool. Not as bad as the quicksand. You know, quicksand, you can be sucked in, very dangerous. This one, you get stuck, and maybe it could be even up to your stomach area, not necessarily just like this, it could be, deeper. This picture also illustrates this boy, Sam, got stuck in the muddy pool. So now, what would happen? You would ask, did Sam die? What would happen to him? What about Jack? Was he still very angry? So let us see what happened, right? So of course he would shout, help, 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 you see? And then the friend came to his assistance. So now let us look at the next slide. His friend actually came to help him, right? So help him to pull him out. Help him pull him out. Now this one is number 6. So just now we saw, you could see number 5 just now, remember? Right? Number 5 we saw, we can actually go to slide number 5 just to refresh your memory. Remember? So he started to mud and he got stuck in the mud and he started to be in danger of being drowned. But Jack came and saved him. So they didn't show you the details, but he helped to pull him up right, from the mud. So his life in a way was saved by Jack. So that is this explanation. So now let us go on to just now the slide number 6. So of course, he cleaned his feet or legs or parts of the body that got mud. He cleaned, because you also have clean pools of water where just now they took the bath, right? And also they could drink from the clear water there. So he recovered already. So he rested for some time, and then he went to a place where he found a rock, or you can say a slab of stone. A slab of stone, and he took out his knife, of course, at their bag, a haversack or whatever. So they will have some, tools. One of it will be a good knife, because they would need it to cut maybe some apples or whatever, right? So then he carved this, on the stone. Today, my best friend saved my life. He wrote on the stone, but carving, chiseling. So then when Jack saw the final message, right? So Jack was very curious. He was a bit confused, or a bit puzzled. Why did Sam now took the trouble to write this message? So he asked his friends, Sam, after I hurt you, you wrote in the sand. I saw your writing that today my best friend slapped me. But now, why is it that you are writing on the stone? Why? Isn't it? First incident where Jack slapped Sam, Sam wrote on the sand. Like, today my best friend slapped me. And he did not argue or did not continue to quarrel. He just remained quiet. But now, in this area where he got stuck in the muddy pool, what happened was, who saved him? The friend who slapped him saved him, And this time, out of gratitude, was very thankful. But he did not write on the sand. He wrote on the stone already. So the friend was a bit confused. Why now writing on the stone? Last time wrote on the sand. So he asked him, when I hurt you, of course, when you are slapped, you'll be hurt, isn't it? Not only in terms of your mind or heart, but also on your face, your cheek might get some pain, isn't it? Why you now write on the stone? You see the reply is beautiful. And that's where you have the Dhamma message. We'll spend some time talking about the message. Now here, of course, after Sam rested, of course, Jack started talking with him already. All right. Of course, he was not angry anymore. The temper went down already, right? So it was his normal self already. So started asking him the question and so on. So now let us go on to slide number 7. So Sam replied, he told his friend Jack, who had saved him. You see, you know what did he say? He said, when someone hurts us, we should write it down in sand, where winds of forgiveness can erase it away. That's a very beautiful message of forgiveness, right? Everybody makes mistakes. So just as you would want others to forgive you, you also forgive other people. There's a beautiful proverb that says, to err is human. That means to make mistakes. To have faults is human. All human beings will make mistakes, right? But to forgive is divine. Divine means a quality pertaining to the gods. Divine means godly, divine. The gods are divine. They are in the heavens, you see. So the gods have fantastic qualities in it. So they don't keep to their hearts all those revenge feelings, anger, enmity, ill will. No. And he writes this beautiful Dhamma message that we do not keep it in the hearts. We just, maybe just write on the sand, just like writing on the sand. At first, it might be still in your mind, but just like when you write something on the sand, it will be just for some time. When the wind comes, it will blow the thing away and your message is gone already. So in a similar way, when somebody hurts you, of course, initially you feel some pain, but you know how to think in a good Dhamma way. You say, well, maybe I was wrong, I was careless, or maybe my past karma, or maybe the person got such a temper that he couldn't control his suffering. So I will not keep it to my heart. I will forgive him. And the person actually who makes the mistakes, he should actually apologize later on. But this one, he does not touch on that. Probably he apologize later, right? So, but when someone does something good for us, right? When someone does something good for us, we must engrave it in stone where no wind can ever erase it. That is a beautiful message, which means that, when you write you write something on the stone, you carve it, it will be there. The winds will not cause you, or the water will not also wash the writings away. The message is this: when somebody helps you, when somebody comes to your assistance, like this case, Sam was saved by the friend Jack, you will be filled with gratitude. You will always have this feeling of gratitude, and you will want to sort of repay, be thankful to him. That sort of thing is a very important thing, to have gratitude. Like we have gratitude to our parents. We must be grateful to so many things, for so many things we get, and to so many people, your grandparents, your teachers, the monks who have helped you, your good friends. So many people have helped you, I'm sure, right? So you must be thankful that, for example,父母恩, filial piety, your parents, have brought you up, have given you comfort, food, education, even some luxurious goods, toys, and all those things. So we must be grateful. Imagine if some people are not grateful to you for all the help you give. You will not be happy. But actually, once we help, we should forget. But anyway, it's naturally a thing that when somebody helps you and they are the person not grateful, you also will feel disappointed. But actually, those negative feelings must go. You just help because it's a good thing, and after that, you forget already. You don't expect anything in return, right? So that is the way. So the principle is this. If somebody, if you help somebody or you give something to somebody, after that, we don't just always think about it and say, hey, what will he give me? What will I get in return? And that is not correct. You just do the good act of dana and forget it. Forget it. But the other person who receives the dana, who receives the help, right, or gets the things, he must be grateful and he must show gratitude. You understand? So you have this very, very good teaching, right? Otherwise, a person who gives and he always expects something in return, if he doesn't get, he will feel sad. All these are not good for the mind, isn't it? You are happy and you do the positive thing which has good karma, and the karma will ripen. Let's just drop it already. You don't go and think about that. You continue doing good and you will feel happy. Right? But a person who expects certain things in return, no, he will not get very good rewards for the dana because of expectation. He might get something. And the other person, if he is ungrateful, he forgets all the help from the friends or even forget all the things that the parents have done for him or the grandparents. That's not good. All religions teach this. We must be grateful. So he explained this. So it's a fantastic, this is the most important thing in the story, right? So the moral, repeat what has been said. We must forgive the mistakes or faults of others. But then you say, oh, yeah, it's easy to say, but then in my heart, I'm very angry with that person who caused me so much pain. You must know how to use the Dharma. You have to think like, for example, I too maybe have offended people. We are all humans and we make mistakes. As just now we said the proverb, to err is human, to forgive divine. So just as I would want people to forgive me if I make any mistake, likewise I should forgive. You know how to think, then very easily, more easily, all those feelings of ill will, enmity, even revenge, all those will go off already. Because you have this forgiveness in your heart. Malay culture very good. They always minta maaf, ampun, ask for forgiveness and things like that. And I'm sorry for what I have done in the wrong way. That's a good thing. So it promotes good relationship. Many people don't practice this, so they have enemies here, enemies there. They don't like this person. They don't like that person. It's terrible, isn't it? Then the second part, you must very, very often recall and remember. We must ever be grateful for any help others do for us. Just now I mentioned already, just to summarize this important point. Now let us go on to slide number 8. Okay, no, just slide number 8. We have finished that story already, including the Dharma discussion and the message. So we are going to the second story already. And this second story, I think most of you have not heard this story. The first one about the two best friends, some I have heard. I've also posted this one for the adults, because this is also applicable for older people, the adults, your parents and so on, to forgive, all right, to apologize when we have done wrong. These are very good practices. Some people very, very egoistic will not apologize for any mistakes, even though he knows that he has made mistakes. And many people are not grateful. That's what the Buddha also said. That most people don't show gratitude. But this second story is a different thing completely. The Dharma teaching or the Dharma message is quite different. And it's quite interesting. So I'm going to tell you the story. Then later on, we will discuss the Dharma teachings. It's called The Turtle and His Flute. Now, turtle, I think you know, the Malay word is penyu. And if you go to the East Coast, Terengganu, Rantau Abang, right, and you can, go to the beach and then maybe 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. You can see the beach, the turtles coming to the beach to lay their eggs and so on. Now you cannot just go and eat the eggs. No, it is against the law. Because you're going to kill off the species in time to come. You don't have enough of the turtles in the seas. They are harmless creatures, reptiles, and they are quite cute in certain ways. You have turtle sanctuary. Some of you might have been to Terengganu and you have seen it's something like a place where they keep and tell you all about turtles and you have the exhibits, you have the live turtles there and all sorts of things about turtles the turtle exhibition also shown and so on. So this story of course concerns actually you can see the character already. The turtle, the little girl, and this one, the hunter. Right? So these are the three characters, right, in the story. Now let us go on to the story. Now, in a jungle, there was a turtle. And this turtle used to play upon the flute. Just now I forgot to tell you what a flute is. Not so common musical instrument unlike the guitar, the piano, the organ, or the trumpet, or the drum. But I think some of you have heard people playing flute. Now you can see, you can see the picture of a flute. The turtle, according to the story, turtles can't play flute. You see, this is just a story. So you have students, sometimes also they play the flute, and the flute music, like in Chinese music, you find sometimes they play the flutes with very, very unique music coming out. Right? It's a sort of a wind instrument. It's not the trumpet, right? But maybe some similarities in terms of principles. Now, so that is the flute, right? And usually it is made of wood, but I suppose there might be other materials now that they can use to make the flute. So in the jungle, right, by the river, there was a turtle. And you know, a turtle can live on land and they can also swim and go to the river and play around, swim and stay there also. So they can go to both areas, the water as well as land. As you have seen in Terengganu, the turtles could come to the beach, the land area, and then lay their eggs, and then also maybe sit on the eggs to hatch the eggs and so on. Then after that, they can go back to the sea. You see, right? So now this is a jungle area, right? So if it's a jungle area, you have many, many different types of animals. According to the story, the animals in the jungle love the music from the turtle who played the flute, right? So they love the music coming from the flute played by the turtle. Talented turtle could play flute. I also don't know how to play the flute. Anyway, it's just a story. I just show you different types of animals right? You could have the monkeys the elephants the deer maybe birds also would come. Wow, birds also can sing with the music they tweet. But then I said, wow, this flute music better than our music when the birds tweet, right? Tweet, all right. So this is just to show. Of course, it did not show the animals dancing here, right? Some would dance, like monkeys would dance. I should put one monkey dancing. But anyway, you get the idea. And then this one shows the hunter. Something is going to happen. And you might wonder, wow, hunter, he has the gun, Those days were not like the modern type, maybe a rifle or something like that. Wow, one day a hunter saw the turtle playing upon the flute. Wow, this hunter, actually we don't encourage you to hunt. For the Buddhists, hunting is a no-no. It is generating bad karma because you hunt for animals, you kill them. Imagine if somebody were to kill you, do you like it? And then what about your family members? And you chase the animals, the animals full of fear, and it's terrible. And then if let's say you kill the mother monkey, what about the little ones? Or the deer, right? So hunting is out. But this is just the story. So the hunter would used to go to hunt. So he saw this turtle. Wow, you know what he would do? He also knew that turtles can be cooked. and you have turtle meat. And some people do eat not only their eggs, but also turtle meat, Of course, today is illegal in our country, because the population will dwindle. So you're not supposed to go and eat their eggs or even to go and catch the turtles and eat them. So what went on the mine? He would trap the turtle and then he would catch it and go back. And that's what he did. But he did not describe to you how he trapped the turtle. He trapped the turtle and took him home. And I think you would know that eventually he would kill the turtle and then cook. You see? You think you take the turtle back as a pet? It's unlikely. Right? The purpose, you can't really keep the turtle in the house. Sometimes you want to go to the water, right? So I don't remember hearing any of my friends keeping a turtle as a pet. Rabbits, yes, as pets I've heard. So now let us go on to slide number 10. So what did he do when he reached home? So he put the turtle in a cage, a sarang, and this hunter had a daughter, right? A little girl. But the story did not say about the mother because it focused on this hunter, daughter, and the turtle. So he told the daughter, don't let the turtle out of the cage. He told the daughter, because what he had in mind, he would eventually kill the turtle. Maybe he would feed the turtle for a few days, and then after that, slaughter the turtle, kill the turtle, chop it to bits, then cook the flesh. Of course, the shell, you wouldn't eat. Maybe you will use it for other things. The shell can be used like tempurung like that. So it could contain something, water or whatever. But anyway, that was his intention actually. Right? So of course the turtle being imprisoned in the cage did not like this, isn't it? To be trapped there, got no freedom to move about. He couldn't go to the waters, he be trapped there. And he knew it's a matter of time where he will be killed by the hunter. Even animals have the intelligence. They know. So then he was thinking, what should I do? I'm now trapped. I will die soon already if I don't find a way to escape. Right? So he was thinking very hard. That conveys a very important message or life lesson. When we are in a very terrible situation, like in this case, a life and death thing, if you panic, and then you cry, everything, then you pray to the God, you find that usually you will not be helped, right? What is important is to use our mind, in this case, right? To do something that can help us to get out of that crisis, that dangerous situation. So then after that, he came up with an idea, right? He, of course, also knew that the family, apart from the hunter, also there was this little girl in the house. And he also would know that the hunter, morning probably will have to go out to do the hunting, to hunt for animals, to sell in the market, and that was his livelihood, his job. So he knew the little girl was around. So he came up with an idea to try to escape. Good thinking. This one just to tell you, like turtle getting the cage, like this, so terrible, right? So it was very sad. This one just to show you, very, very sad. But yet he was quite calm, and then he could think. So now we are going to move to slide number 11. So one day, as usual, the turtle noticed the hunter was out. He went out already. Then he did this. The hunter, luckily, did not take the flute away from him, right? So he was still having the flute because it was a harmless type of instrument, right? No use to the hunter. The hunter wouldn't know how to play with the flute. So he just left with the turtle. So the turtle had the flute with him inside the cage. So what did he do? he began to play upon the flute. That means he used the flute to play on the flute and create very lovely music. These are musical notes, as you can see, right? Very, very nice music. So the little girl who was, little girls are active. She would, just walk around here, down around here, look at the turtle. And then she was, wow, very fascinated. The word mesmerize a bit difficult, and the Malay translation was out, so I changed it. Actually, when somebody is mesmerized, of course, you have the word mesmerize, thinking that like hypnotized, and it's not like that. No, he was very fascinated. The pikat already very attracted to it, so and interested. And you find that you are really fascinated by the music. No? So your whole attention is there. You just concentrate on that because you find so interesting, so wonderful, fascinating. That would be the word, right? So the little girl was very attracted to that. So she went near the turtle. And of course, in the story, as you know, the Aesop tables, the animals could talk with the people. That's the story. Just like in Jataka stories also, Aesop people. But it doesn't matter. It's a story, but it teaches very wonderful lessons. So what did the little girl say to the turtle? To the turtle? You play upon the flute wonderfully. That's what she praised the turtle. So beautiful music. I would like to dance also when I hear your music. A cute little girl. It did not say, the story did not say how old. Probably it might be like preschool age only. Maybe 3, 4, 5, but could dance and could walk and could talk already lah. So it could be 4, 5 like that. So the turtle continued to play, and the girl was very, very interested, fascinated with that lovely dancing music. Like was also this one just to show she was so interested in music, and then she did a simple dance like that, not yet full dance, just moving the body and the hands and so on. So what would happen now? What was the plan of the turtle? The turtle was planning to escape, isn't it? Otherwise, he will be killed, isn't it? So, could you guess what will come next? Let us go on to slide number 12 now. So when the turtle heard the little girl praising his playing upon the flute to create the music, then you know what he told the little girl? I can dance even better. Not only can I play the flute to create that wonderful music, but actually I can dance in a very special way. You would like to see me dance, but unfortunately, there is not enough space here in the cage inside. So little space I cannot dance. That's what the turtle told the little girl. And this little girl, as you know, very innocent, she also forgot about what the father told her not to let the turtle out of the cage. Because he planned to kill it and cook it, so he wouldn't want the turtle to escape, isn't it? So very spontaneously, the little girl immediately opened the door of the cage. That means she could have been, 4 or 5 years old. They knew how to open, not difficult to open the cage of probably just, it was not like the kunci there, no, not like that. It's just probably a latch or something like that. Very easy, can be opened. But animals will be trapped there, right? You have seen parrots in cages, right? For people, it's so easy to open the door, but you expect the parrot to go and open the door and fly away. Right? You have seen so many different types of animals caught and put in different types of cages. They can't escape unless there's a human being coming to help to open. I think I posted 1 or 2 stories where the animals were trapped in the cage, and then the man or the boy came along to open the cage, the door of the cage, the sort of thing. So the turtle came out lah. The turtle came out, but he didn't one shot just go away, because turtles move very slowly like the tortoise, isn't it? So if you just walk away, the little girl might catch him back and put him catch the fella and put him back into the cage and lock it, isn't it? The girl can be quite smart, but the turtle was very smart, right? He started to play the flute, and as he was playing the flute, he also danced, right? Dance, and the turtle, according to the story, right? The turtle could dance very well, He could dance very, very in a very cute way, And the girl was so very happy. She also joined in the dance, right? Ah, so what is next now? So the turtle got to think of a way of escaping, right? That was the objective. So, can you guess what is to happen next? The girl and the turtle were dancing, right, on the floor, right, on the floor, maybe in the hall or in the space there, the small hall of the hunter's hut or house, you can say. So, what would happen? So the girl was so very interested, and there are many little girls that love to dance with me. They dance, they're very happy. It's fine, it's okay, right? Boys, I find less boys like to dance. Actually, I mean, if you have the talent and you have the liking, it's fine. Whether you're a boy or a girl, I've also taught students that went on to study dance. Even you have famous people like, Ramli Ibrahim. He was a chemical engineer, but he didn't like the job. And then he took up dancing and became very famous, as a classical Indian dancer. He could earn a lot of money also. Right? And there was another one, the father passed away, the Professor Koo, Marvin Koo. He told the father his ambition is to study dancing. The father said, okay, you finish your Form 5, and then after that, we send you to England, London, and you could study dance as a subject, apart from some other subjects, right? So, and also later on, he became so famous as a classical Indian dancer. And he was very happy, all right? And he could travel various parts of the world to perform, So it's okay, actually. Boys or girls, follow your heart, your passion, what you really like to do, not what somebody forces you to do. You won't be happy. So parents also should understand that. Find out and see what the young ones are interested in, what they are talented for, and then could they manage this and all those things. So let us now go on to slide number 13 now. All right. Now before that, let me put on the video. Now, let us now go on to slide number 13. Then, just now I told you that the turtle was dancing on the floor. We did not say what type of floor. It could be a cement floor, very likely. A cement floor, right? So the turtle, very, very smart, very creative in his thinking. You know what he said? He said, wow, my feet are very soft. So this floor is very hard. It is made of cement and concrete. And my feet are hurting me. He said the floor is hurting my feet. Because, I usually I live in the soft area, right? Not on the outside the road or what. And then I sometimes go to the river or even the sea. I could swim also. My feet cannot wear shoes like you. So I can dance, but if you let me dance on the grass, wow, you will help me a lot. I can even dance better. So then the turtle asked the girl, can we dance on the grass outside? Of course, the turtle was very observant. He had seen the grass outside the house. So he got already a plan already, right? Then the little girl said, of course, no problem. So the little girl took the turtle out. Maybe he was too slow moving. So the little girl could carry the turtle. So it could be like that. So he carried the turtle out into the outside of the house where the grass was growing. Some of the grass areas had taller grasses, some shorter, right? So that's where the turtle continued. He was very smart. He did not at one go just crawl away. He continued playing the flute first. So lovely music. You could play various types of tunes. Some very lively ones, very nice for dancing ones, right? And he himself also danced. This is a story. The tortoise, imagine, and walk so slowly. How is he going to dance? But anyway, just to show you a picture. Just the message is important. So the turtle began to play the music and dance. Wow, the little girl was so very, very interested. I told you, she got a passion for dancing, right? And the music was so nice to dance. So she got so engrossed with the music, right? So what will happen next now, right? So the turtle again played upon the flute and danced, and the girl also continued. So now we are going to go to the second last slide, which is slide number 14. Wow, the little girl was so engrossed in the music. Engrossed means you are so taken, so attracted, you are sort of the pikat lah, right? You like it so very much, you continue dancing and you close your eyes also. Some people, they dance and they close their eyes also, isn't it? Right? So, what happened now? Right? The turtle noticed that this little girl was so very engrossed to be taken the full attention on the dancing, just nothing else on the mind, just the dancing, as you could see very clearly in the picture I've chosen, with the eyes closed and kept on dancing. That was when, right? The turtle still continued to play the music, but then it started to walk towards the jungle already. He walked to the jungle. But the little girl was so engrossed with the dancing, he didn't realize probably that the flute, the music was getting softer and softer. But probably the turtle was smart. He blew harder also. He blew harder so the music could still be heard quite okay. So the little girl, she never thought of anything or opened her eyes. So she just, kept on dancing. And finally, the turtle reached the jungle and went to the side of the river. And then very easy way to escape. The turtle would just go into the river, right? And then, of course, he stopped playing the music. So the turtle vanished. And not vanish would mean disappear. It's not really disappeared. He ran into the river already. And then also the music vanished. It stopped playing. So that's how, right, the turtle could escape. Otherwise, he would be killed and die. So that's actually the ending of the story. The story did not continue. What would happen when the hunter came back? Would he scold the daughter? And then would he give the daughter a caning? All those are not important, right? Because the story ends here. The most important thing is the message which we are going to discuss, you see, right? So I hope you can follow the story very well so that you can also tell your friends, right? Better still, if after we have discussed the moral lessons or the Dharma teachings. So that is this important point you have to pay attention to. Now, you see, that's interesting. You see how the turtle can swim in the waters. Swim in the waters. So very, very unique. It belongs to the same family as the tortoise, right? And they are classified as reptiles. So now we come to the last slide. where we are going to discuss some important Dharma teachings. Okay, now that is now, of course, you see the ending slide. You have the hunter and the turtle, right? The turtle can live on the land as well as swim in the sea. Right? So these three just summarize the thing. Now I read the first one first. In a critical situation, it is important to be able to remain calm and think creatively and wisely to solve the problem. Now we find in life, we can encounter all sorts of situations, isn't it? Sometimes very dangerous situations, especially where the situation threatens your life. Like for example, maybe a wild animal comes to your house, or maybe a thief, a robber enters your house. Such critical situation, what would you do? If you are not able to remain calm, the mind tenang, right? And be able to think wisely and creatively, a very good way, you might end up in a terrible state. You might be hurt, you might even be killed, or your family members might be killed. So it's very important, you see. Like I remember one of my brothers, right? So he was staying in quite a big house with his family and daughters. So one day, some robbers entered the house, with they didn't have the guns, but they have the parang and then the knives and so on. They wanted money, right? Asked my brother to show them. It was past midnight already. They broke into the house somehow or other. And he said that, I want all your money. Show me where your safe is, right? Maybe they have, the type of very strong safe cabinet where you put your valuables gold or diamond, and then the money or something. Of course, most of the money will kept in the bank, right? But there still be riches there, especially gold jewelry. So my brother say, I don't have all the valuable things here, right? He say they are in the banks, right? Then the robbers saw the computers of the laptops of the doctors casa there all away, all the mobile phones all take away, and all those things, right? That can be cutted away. So my brother told me, he had to try to remain calm and to think what to do. He said, they don't. He thought, they don't have guns. Maybe I can really, sort of wake everybody up, and then there are four of us. Then his three daughters and the wife plus him five. So maybe he can give a fight that would be foolish because these robbers are violent, aggressive, very dangerous people. But luckily, he was able to think clearly, so he didn't do that. If he had done that, as later on there were cases, the old man tried to resist, in the end got killed by the robbers. Luckily, he didn't do that. So he said, no, you all can take this. I'm very sorry, right? The money is in the bank. I can't give you the money. But then they saw his briefcase because he went on a business just some days ago. For some foreign currencies inside the briefcase. So they took away American dollars, the Japanese yen, the Thai baht, Indian rupees, all sorts of currency, everything. Maybe came to a couple of thousand. But most important is the life, isn't it? Our life, isn't it? You get killed, nothing else to say already. So they took those things, everything. Then after that, the robbers passed the Kuan Yin image in the altar. They have a Kuan Yin there. And they saw the Kuan Yin wearing a necklace, looks like gold. Then they asked in Malay, what is that thing made of? Gold. Then my brother said, if you want, you can go and take the thing, but they did not dare to approach the Kuan Yin altar. So they left. So later on, of course, it was a very, very scary experience. So, but just to tell you, in a critical situation like this, you have to remain calm. And you can't do this if you don't have training in the Dharma. Right? You have to train. Then when you remain calm, and then especially, if you have wisdom will come not by just studying your books only. You have to actually learn Dharma. That's why in Dharma, it teach you a lot of things, including training the mind where you can think very clearly, creatively, just like the turtle. A turtle, very good example. He was remaining calm. He knew that he was going to die. He could not think of a way out, isn't it? So likewise also, when you are faced with situations, of course you can apply all the book knowledge, but that alone, sometimes you find you don't know how to you use the wrong way. As I told you, this other person who tried to fight with the robber in the end got killed. The wife also got killed, I think. He was in Ipoh or something like that. So my brother, I say, luckily you were wise enough not to put up a fight with them. You will die. And your daughters also might get raped also. These are violent, dangerous people, right? So that is very, very important. So what I want to emphasize here is how to handle the various situations in life where they give you dukkha, suffering, or pain. Like look at the 8 worldly conditions, right? Sometimes you have happiness, sometimes you have sorrow, pain, difficult situations, right? Then what are you going to do? So you see, when you have the Dhamma, they will tell you what you can do. Sometimes people scold you. Sometimes people abuse you, say terrible words upon you. Right? Of course, when people praise you and give you all the kind words, you're very happy. But what about the other side? How do you handle? And sometimes you gain, you go and gamble or what, you get a lot of money. But other times, you lose a fortune. Are you going to commit suicide? There are people who committed suicide when they lost their things. So that's where you see it's so important to know Dhamma, to train the mind, to think in a wise way so that you can still be more peaceful, you have less suffering, less dukkha. Or, let's say you are a famous pop singer or what, right? Wow, you like those days, Michael Jackson or what. Now, I think the Gangnam Style one are not so famous already. Up and down. So sometimes you'll be very, very famous. Like now you have certain groups in the Korean K-pop, isn't it? Very, very famous. Wow, very popular. You see their videos, how many millions will watch. And then got so many, those boys like the BTC or what, probably they would have so many girlfriends and all the girls will clamor up to them. But if they cannot think in a good way, a wise way, they cannot still be happy really, That's why some even take drugs, sleeping tablets, and you have heard of cases they commit suicide. They cannot withstand the stress, right? But then another time, other groups come out already. You will not be famous already. So how will you feel? Can you remain calm, equanimous? And then also be able to have the wisdom to know what to do, that these things are facts of life, how to cope. If you don't have that, so how can I accept? They take on drinking liquor and then smoking and drugs and then you have heard of famous actors, actresses, singers committing suicide. Elvis Presley Whitney Houston Leslie Cheung so many And then of course the Korean K-pop singers, some of them also, and in other countries like Hong Kong and Taiwan, all over the world we have these type of cases. So now you see how important it is for everyone, especially when you are young. Then easier for you to have these Dharma lessons, all these remaining in your mind. A person who is too old already, very difficult to learn because there's a block in the mind. He's always having that thinking, I know a lot already. So the thing's very hard to enter the minds. So very important is for these people, the young ones, to learn. Of course, you learn the academic subjects in school, but also very important is to learn life lessons, which actually is Dharma. Why? Basically to help you to live a more happy, peaceful, meaningful life, and to develop your mind so that it grows in the compassion and wisdom. Then your life will be well lived and you will have less problems when you grow up, and eventually probably you will become enlightened also all right? So now you have come to the end. It's almost about an hour already. So before we conclude this presentation, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all you boys and girls, students of Buddhist Sunday School and Dharma classes, parents, grandparents, and teachers of Sunday School and Dharma classes. I would like to say sadhu to all of you and thank you for taking time to follow this presentation and also to put in your effort. The energy is expanded. And then also the mind has to concentrate and be mindful. So sadhu to all of you. And we hope you have learned some good Dharma and also can share the Dharma with various types of people, right? Whom you feel are ready, can accept this, right? So now let us put our palms together and say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. To all who have been following the presentation, may you all be well, happy, and peaceful. Take care.